In the rugged mountains of what is now southwestern New Mexico and southeastern Arizona, there once lived a woman whose name struck fear into the hearts of her enemies. Her name was Gouyen, and she was one of the most remarkable warriors in Apache history. Not because she was the strongest, not because she was the fastest, but because she was the bravest, because she avenged her husband's death in a way that no one who heard the story would ever forget. Gouyen was a Cheyenne Apache woman, born in the mid-19th century in the Warm Springs Apache territory of New Mexico. She was known throughout her band as a woman of extraordinary courage and skill. She was an expert horsewoman, a skilled fighter, and a woman of deep conviction. In Apache culture, women could be warriors. Not all women chose that path, but those who did were respected and honored. Gouyen chose that path, and she walked it with a ferocity that earned her the respect of every warrior who knew her. She was not just a warrior in name. She was a warrior in every sense of the word. She could ride with the best of them. She could fight with the best of them. And she had a courage that surpassed them all. She was married to a warrior whose name history has not preserved. But what history does preserve is the story of what Gouyen did after her husband was killed. He was murdered by a Comanche warrior during a raid. The Comanche and Apache were bitter enemies, and raids between the two peoples were common. When Gouyen learned of her husband's death, she did not weep. She did not mourn in the way that others might have expected. She made a vow. She would avenge her husband's death, and she would do it in a way that would be remembered for generations. This was not a decision she made lightly. In Apache culture, vengeance was a sacred duty, but it was also a dangerous one. To seek vengeance was to risk everything. Your life, your honor, your place in the community. Gouyen was willing to risk all of it. Gouyen prepared for her mission with the care and precision of a master warrior. She dressed herself in her finest clothing. She braided her hair. She painted her face for war. She armed herself with a knife. And she set out alone to find the Comanche camp where her husband's killer was staying. She traveled for days through hostile territory. She crossed rivers. She climbed mountains. She moved through enemy land with the skill and stealth that only the best Apache warriors possessed. She did not stop to rest. She did not stop to eat. She was driven by a purpose that was stronger than hunger, stronger than fear, stronger than anything. And when she found the Comanche camp, she did not hesitate. She walked into the camp during a dance. The Comanche were celebrating. They had their weapons put away. They were singing. They were dancing. They did not expect an Apache woman to walk into their midst. But Gouyen was not afraid. She walked directly to the warrior who had killed her husband. She identified him, and then, in front of the entire camp, she attacked. She was armed with a knife, and she fought with a fury that stunned the Comanche warriors who tried to stop her. She killed her husband's murderer, and then, according to Apache oral tradition, she scalped him. She took his scalp as proof of her vengeance, and she walked out of the Comanche camp alive. The story of Gouyen's vengeance became one of the most famous tales in Apache oral history. It was told and retold around campfires for generations. It became a symbol of Apache courage, of a woman's determination, of the lengths to which a person will go for love and justice. The Comanche themselves were said to have been impressed by Gouyen's bravery. Some versions of the story say that the Comanche warriors let her leave the camp unharmed because they respected her courage. Whether that part is true or not, the core of the story is beyond dispute. Gouyen avenged her husband's death, and she did it alone, without help, without backup, without any guarantee that she would survive. She walked into the enemy's camp and walked out again. That is courage beyond measure. But Gouyen's story did not end with her act of vengeance. She continued to fight for her people. She lived through some of the most turbulent years in Apache history. She witnessed the wars against the United States. She saw the great leaders Victorio and Geronimo lead their people in resistance. And she survived. She survived when so many others did not. She survived the wars. She survived the forced marches.